Welcome back, guys. Two rod and reels. Got all my crap up there. Got the kayak loaded. We're headed to the lake. Should be over there in about 3 to 5 minutes or so. We got a little bit of a hike over to the lake, but we're gonna do some fishing today. Hopefully we catch something. It's turkey season, but we opted to go fishing tonight instead. I don't think there's a lot of turkeys on this property, so we're gonna do some bass fishing today. Hopefully catch a couple, probably chatterbait, lipless crankbait, and if the weeds are bad, maybe swim bait, maybe worm. We'll just see what happens. So I'm gonna finish my little snack brought to you by some crackers with peanut butter in them, and then we're gonna go fishing. Let's go. And in case you guys were wondering, my truck said it is a crisp 46 degrees, and it is the end of April. So unfortunately it is cold, but I think with some of the colder weather, maybe some of the moss will have died off, some of the weeds that were starting to grow in those 70-degree days. So we took a step backwards in terms of heat, but there's a chance maybe it's going to help with something. As long as the fish bite, I don't really care, but you're going to see me all bundled up today. So just part of it. We're getting unloaded now. Should be on the lake shortly. It's cold. Really was hoping for some warmer weather today, but at least the winds are pretty low. Very, very gloomy out. Sometimes this nastier weather can bring some of these big fish up, so we'll see what happens. Here we go. And we are floating. Very exciting. I think we're going to catch some fish today. It is a gorgeous day out here. Fingers crossed the bass want to cooperate and we can make it happen. I'm just so excited to be out on the water. Gloomy day, but you know, it's not 90. I'm not sweating, having fun. Let's go. Let's start with the chatterbait. Let's see if we can get one. The water is absolutely crystal clear today. I'm hoping that the weeds haven't, you know, taken over too bad. If you look right here, you can probably see some of the weeds under the water. It's a little gross in there, but I'm thinking the chatterbait with some of that like vibration in the front and then that big blade will hopefully cut through any of that stuff kind of easily until we get into some of the thicker moss. I'm thinking that's gonna work, but let's start there, see what we've got. Got a couple hours, let's make it happen. Oh, first one. Oh, he dropped it, that turd. About 4 casts in, we just had a nibble. And then took me right into a weed. Didn't even think it was a bass, so I didn't really set the hook. I thought it was a weed. So we're right on kind of a flat spot here. And I think that's where the first bass came in. So they might be moving up a little shallow or looking for some bait up shallow. Days like this, when the weather is not the best, are my absolute favorite times to come fishing because there is just less people here. Nobody wants to endure some of the nasty weather conditions except for me because I'm crazy. GoPro's saying about 10 minutes now. So we've been going for a little bit. No bites, or I should say no really good bites. I think I had a hit there in the beginning, but haven't connected with anything really yet. It's pretty chilly out here, 46 degrees. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it with the wind. It's probably just a hair colder than that, or feels colder than that. We're gonna catch some today, I've got a good feeling. We're kind of just slowly easing into the good spots. I could just go pressure the good spots like usual, but we're just gonna work our way over to it and see if we can catch some on the way. Got a good feeling we'll find them. Fish on, baby. Number one. Not horrible. Not a monster by any means. 13-incher. But we'll take him for the first one. Can only go up from here, I hope, at least. Got one down. Gonna have to set the hook just a hair harder. First one is in the boat, maybe 12 inches. Pretty small fish, but very, very cold, and got one. Nice. Feels good to get the first one on the chatterbait there. I know the chatterbait can, you know, really catch some nice sized fish, so I'm not gonna lose hope in it yet, especially because I just hooked my second one. Might have to tighten the drag just a bit. But I think if we stick it out for a little bit, there's a chance maybe we get some nice fish. That's an awesome bass right here. Oh my gosh, that is a really nice bass. That's a good fish. Holy smokes. The size difference in 1 versus 2. Fins are getting a little bloody here. And wow, he demolished. I mean, the chatterbait's gone. Always feels good to get a little bit better one. Next cast. And like I said, I mean, I was burning some of the slow spots, but now that we're over here to what I think is going to be a more productive area, hopefully we have better luck now. I think he's going to be all right, but damn, I'm not happy at all with that. Terrible hook placement. Just everything went south. Gosh dang it. I like to fish artificial lures for the exact reason of it's very easy to do catch and release 99.9% of the time. Live bait is where those fish start to swallow the hooks all the time and things just go south too quickly. But was a little bit of blood on that fish, unfortunately, but I think he's going to be fine. Fish number 2 has been caught and released. I think the key to some better hook placements would be set the hook a little harder and a little faster. That way you try to get more into the edge of the mouth and less deep down into the throat. It's nice when the fish commit like that. That means they're biting really good, but you never want to see a fish have to suffer or anything. So we're going to try not to have that happen again, and we're going to get back to fishing, hopefully catch a couple more. See if we can get some more big ones. That was a really nice sized fish. Oop, there's a log. We got one. Little guy. One trick I've been taught over the years is to try to fish the wind-blown side of the lake. I don't know what it is. I can only assume that the wind blows a lot of the smaller bait fish to one side of the lake, and it attracts some of these fish to come and, you know, feed at that time. But that's the kind of hook placement we're really looking for. Just something right there on the top of the mouth, easy. Doesn't really hurt the fish. Fish is in and out of the water in 10 seconds, if that. But yeah, awesome. The weeds are definitely starting to come up through, I guess, the bottom of the lake here. It's really hard to see, I'm sure, on camera, but right below the water, there is a lot of grass starting to grow up. I'm not sure what kind of weeds it is, but it's like real stringy grass, and then there's some moss mixed in with it. And it can make fishing really, really tough, but it also provides a lot of great structure, a lot of great habitat for these largemouth to live in. And great for the bait fish as well. Moving on, picked off 3, I believe, in that spot. We're gonna keep scooting on. Probably won't get to see every single fish catch today, but I'm going to try and include quite a few of them for you. Just gonna see if we can find some more deep holes where there's some ledges that these fish may be coming up to feed on. I don't think anything was pushed up to spawn yet, and if they were, they probably went down with this 46-degree day. It's been kind of nice in the past couple weeks, but for some reason the last 2-3 days it's been pretty chilly. I think it's supposed to be cold for another week or so, but then we're going to really start getting into spring, and the bite should be stupid good after that. And we got us one. Really didn't go that far down. The little ones are biting today, except for that one that kind of swallowed the hook. Most of these are smaller fish. Like, when I say smaller, I mean they're pretty small for in here. I'm gonna guess this guy to be about 12 inches or so. Fun to catch, and I'm thankful to be catching them, but they're just not as big as what I'm used to out here. A lot of the times when you come out here, you catch that textbook about 14 inch or so, but we're getting a lot of 12s and 13s today, which is a little small. All right, fellers, we got 2 new lures on. we have a brand new chatterbait because it is working. The other chatterbait, I think I ripped so much of the skirt off and I ripped the fluke just to shreds when I was trying to get that second fish off, that basically we're gonna retire that for now. We're gonna go back, put a new skirt on it, put a new fluke on the back end, and we'll be good to go. And I also tied on for the first time this year, which I'm kind of excited about, kind of sad about, the weedless swim bait. This is a Keitech swim bait with a 4/0 EWG swim bait, weighted swim bait hook. I believe it's a 1/4 ounce. It's not super heavy, but it's enough to get it just below the surface. And we're hoping that that can catch us some bass. I don't know if we're gonna have a lot of luck with it today. We're gonna toss it around for 20 minutes or so, see if we can get a couple bites. If not, we'll go back to the chatterbait. But the weeds have picked up more than I thought, just right below the surface. They are there and they're prevalent and they're not good. So, if you watch the videos, every time I yank up on the rod like that, it's not because I'm trying to snag or anything. It's just me simply trying to get the weeds off of the lure. And because it was catching so many weeds, I said, you know what, let's try something completely weedless for a little bit and see if we can make it happen. So we're gonna give the swim bait a try today. Very excited about it, but let's go. There we go, right as we hit a tree. First one on the weedless swim bait. I about caught my beard in the reels. That's never a good sign. Oh no, I just hooked a tree. Please stay on. I felt him, yeah, there he goes, good. Got him out of there. Not bad, not bad. For the first swim bait bass, I'll take it. That's a little bit better size. That's kind of what I'm used to catching in here, that 14, 15 incher. Beautiful. Heck yeah. Nice swim bait bass. And again, you'll see I hooked him up here, and right there is another lip piercing from a previous fishing excursion. Probably mine, but you never know. There we go. So a lot of people do fish out here, but I don't think anybody fishes out here to the extent that I do, which is totally fine, but I come out here quite a bit and catch a lot of fish, and I would say most of the fish in here have been pierced by me at some point or another. Rip to that swim bait. We're gonna have to retire that and get a new one. But one pretty large downside to fishing soft plastics is that you have to stop fishing to re-rig, if you will, quite often. Every time you catch a fish, you've got to inspect your bait, and sometimes it breaks it, sometimes it doesn't. Typically on a swim bait, assuming the tail hasn't ripped, I can get like 3 to 5 fish out of them, but not always. One down on the swim bait and we are back in. Next cast, let's go. We're kind of in a nice spot here where there's a good chance to catch some fish. We're actually on the windless side now instead of the wind blown side, so maybe there's fish, maybe all these fish are over here. We're gonna see. There we go. And we're on. That's a nice fish. That's an awesome one. Heck yeah. First good one on the old swimmer. The old swimmer baiter. Haha. And there we go. Awesome fish right there. Hope you guys are enjoying this little video. It's fun. Look at that, a little bit of blood on the tail. They might be starting to move up, a little spawn in action. That's what I like to see. Very cool. Back down. Awesome. One down. It's kind of strange that of all the places in the lake, this is probably one of the last places I had thought would be any good today. It's not the wind-blown side. It's really not the deepest pocket in the lake. I'm just shocked that we're catching anything out of here. That's 2 or 3 fish from this side right in this area that we've got now. And I was really surprised too that the swim bait's actually working. Well, fishing has definitely slowed down. We've got maybe 10 minutes left. We're gonna fish for just a hair longer and see what we can find, but it's pretty slow. It is pretty slow. And that is a wrap. That was fun. Fishing is incredibly tough today, unfortunately. I thought we'd have a little bit better luck, but I think just such a drastic change in temperature kind of slowed these fish down and turned them off a little bit. I believe I ended with 6, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's a really solid day of fishing, honestly, for, I'm going to say about 2 hours of fishing. It's slow for here, but if you compare it to most lakes, it's pretty good. So 6 bass, 2 of them were pretty quality size, probably 15, 16 inches or so. Pound and 3/4, probably approaching the 2 pound, maybe a little less, but either way, ton of fun to come out here on a weekday, you know, come out here after work and just get on a few fish and just explore nature and have fun. Nobody here, just me and the wildlife, and it's just an incredible place to come out here. So if you guys get a chance, go fishing, get outside, explore, even when it's cold and nasty out, because those are my favorite days. There's less people, there's more wildlife, and you can just relax and be with nature. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will catch you on the next swim baiting, chatter baiting, and kayak fishing adventure. Peace.